This is the plaintiff, Nyasia Myers. She says she made a down payment on a Mazda 3 Series. And then a few days later, the defendant tells her he sold that car and she should pick another one. Huh? The deposit she gave was for the Mazda. The snake oil used car salesman can't make her pick another. And she wants her $2,726 returned. So she's suing. This is the defendant, Scott Geller. He says he held on to the Mazda as long as he could, but the plaintiff couldn't come up with all the money to buy it, so he sold it. He's happy to honor his store credit policy. She can choose another car, but he does not give refunds. He's accused of pulling the old switcheroo.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff put money down in a Mazda, but the defendant said he already sold the car and made her buy another one. But the defendant says she didn't come up with the money in time. That was the problem. It's the case of Mazda, Mazda don't.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Nyasia Myers, you are suing Scott Geller and GDT Automotive. You're the owner of GDT Automotive?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,726 that you want refunded to you, $1,500 of that a deposit that you put on a car that, according to you, he sold out from under you, plus $1,226 in car insurance. Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So originally I had looked on Craigslist because I was looking for cars, and I wanted to find something cheap that I didn't have to make payments for. So I had talked to Scott. I reached out to him on Craigslist, and he sounded like a nice guy, and he said that he was willing to help me with a down payment on the car because I didn't have it in full, but he was willing to take it in payments.
All right, the deal you struck with him is that you would provide dribs and drabs until you got to $1,500. And you wouldn't be entitled to a car until you did, right?
Yes.
Right, okay, bad idea. But anyway, go ahead. So that's what you do. And you do get to the $1,500.
Yes.
Okay.
So I had met up with his assistant because that's who I was actually meeting up with. Like, although I talked to him, he was really not involved because I was talking to his assistant, Dana. So she was the one that I was going through. So that's who I have the text messages with and all my emails. So then the following 2 weeks, which was January 28th, I had met with her in the Barnes & Noble parking lot, which is usually where we meet. Like, we'll meet like local because it was hard for me to get to him because he was such a distance from me.
Okay, but don't keep digressing. So when did you have the $1,500 paid up?
January 28th.
Okay, and then when do you go to pick out your new car?
Well, I looked for a new car before that.
Before that date, because you knew the date was coming.
Yes.
Okay, so you already had your car picked out.
Yes, and I test drove the car, and that was actually with Scott, and we both discussed that this was the car that I planned on getting.
Okay.
And then the next 2 weeks, which was the 28th, I had planned that with Dana, and I gave her the rest of the money. So that was the $1,500.
Okay. You know that that there's $1,500 on your side, correct?
Your Honor, we don't know. I don't know sitting here today whether she came up with $1,350. I know I waited months and worked with her, holding cars to work with her.
I have a simple question. What is the total amount she paid?
I do not know, Your Honor.
You serious?
Don't know. That's right. She dealt with Dana. We were working with her for months.
You didn't talk to Dana before coming here?
This went on months. Okay,
It doesn't matter. You don't have a method of keeping control of the money your place accepts? All right. So if on January 28th you pay the $1,500, how do you go out and get insurance on this specific car?
I went to...
What day did you do that?
I did it February 11th. A little before February 11th.
Why is there such a gap? If you finish paying the $1,500 on January 28th, then why is there such a gap between the 28th and February 11th?
That is only about 2 weeks.
Yeah, but why is there such a gap?
It's only because I was doing it based on like my pay period, and then I had scheduled it so that I knew for a fact that I would have the money to give him to register the car and also have the insurance.
Was there any financing involved in the purchase of this car?
I did a finance application, and they told me that...
When was the finance application done?
It was like... I don't honestly.
At the beginning or at the end?
It was like
in
the beginning because they told me that I got accepted for a $4,000 loan, which the total of the car was $5,500.
All right. So when does she pick out that car that she really wanted? The last cars are what, so that I can be clear?
It was a 2007 white Mazda 3.
Okay, so can we call that the white Mazda 3, the last car in question?
Yeah, I did an exception to her. I met her at Gold Shimmer someplace because she complained about driving. Went with her in the parking lot that day to please her.
What day was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, whatever she says is fine. I don't remember.
She says it's 2 weeks before January 20th.
And that's fine. It probably was. Yep.
Okay. So the 28th comes, she makes the payment, but she doesn't come in to do business with you ever?
No, I don't remember, unless the day I met you in the parking lot was the last time I saw you, right?
Did you ever come in to sign the paperwork for the car?
I never did. There was never a contract. Originally, when I met her, the contract was supposed to be written already. But it wasn't, because she said that she ended up being busy. So I said, well, I had no problem. I will sign it on the 11th.
But how, you're giggling, but how, it's very unusual to send an employee to some remote location to, and you don't know what they're saying, and then they're not here to testify.
Let me know when it's my turn, because I can make this very simple.
It's your turn now, because I'm going to need you
Thank
not
you.
to speak in platitudes, but to answer what I just asked. What was it I just asked?
Dana.
What was it I just asked?
Why did I send Dana to meet her in a parking lot? To be nice and to help the girl. She lived far. She has 2 schedules. She never answered her phone. She never came in. We went crazy to try to please her, and now I'm in court. Had to take a day from my business. The whole thing is ludicrous.
But you're a used car salesman in the business of selling cars.
I have a car dealership to serve the public and do a good job.
Okay, but you're not a public service worker.
No,
you're
but
here
I care.
to make a business.
I'm a good person.
Listen, you're talking to somebody who totally finds your industry a necessary thing. I know that she can't buy a car from the dealership. I know that.
Right.
She doesn't have the credit to do it.
Right.
I have zero problem.
And I got her approved.
Well, yeah, I get all that.
Yeah.
And I get why, but please don't also, I do get tired when I hear your side saying things like, it's a public service. No, it's because you're going to make money too. But here's
I gotta survive, yeah.
Yes, you got to eat. You got to pay tuition. You got to do whatever you got to do. Now Dana is not here. And here's my reality. I have her testifying that Dana said, no problem, we're good to go. When are you going to come in? What are you going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And that the car is hers. Dana's leaving her with the impression that the car is hers and there's no urgency. How are you going to contradict that without Dana here? Is Dana available?
Yeah, she has another job. She works for me part-time. I don't think she's going to come.
No, do you have her cell phone?
She works at Bettini Fuel. I could give you
Do you have her cell phone?
Yeah, I could look for her cell phone, yeah.
I'd like to speak to Dana.
All right, fine. She's suing me for the insurance.
So can you get her on your cell phone?
I can try.
Okay. According to you, you told him, all I need to get my insurance money back is a statement from you that I never bought that car.
Yes, I just needed a letter from him stating that the car was never insured to me and I never got it. And they would have gave me my deposit back.
Okay. You don't have a problem with that, right? Because that'll take care of the whole insurance issue. With if we draft something that says specifically what do they need? Just a statement that says that you have not, as of this date, you have not received a car from him.
Exactly.
Right. You don't have a problem with that.
I think we did that already.
All right. Do you have Dana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
You can't approach the bench. We keep telling you that.
I'm staying here.
You make me nervous. You're very nervous. You're angry at me.
That's my girlfriend in the whole world.
Go ahead. All right. Who is this? This is Dana.
This is Dana.
Is she on speaker?
She's on.
Dana. How are you? This is Judge Marilyn Milian from the People's Court.
Hi.
Okay. Can you hear me well?
Can hear you well, yeah.
Okay. So I have some, we're in court about this right now, right? You know which case?
Correct.
Okay. What I wanted to know was that day on January 28th when she gave you $490?
Correct.
And that was the final payment to be able to make the $1,500?
It was actually $10 short, but yes, close enough.
At that point, she has test driven the white Mazda, correct?
I believe so. I wasn't there the night she test drove a car.
Okay.
But I believe a white Mazda.
So, Dana, I want to know exactly what the conversation was between you and Naisha in that parking lot.
She was just making an additional payment to the car.
Did you talk about the white Mazda, though?
I can't say yes or no to that. I truly cannot say yes or no to that.
According to Naisha, she made clear to you that she was going to be coming in 2 weeks when she had the money for the insurance. And once she had the insurance, in order to pick up that specific car.
I cannot recall that as part of the conversation. I know she was planning on buying a car, but I don't recall that. It's very possible that if I said, yeah, that's what she said, I would be lying.
Okay, you don't, okay. So stand by, Dana. I'm not talking to you now. I'm going to ask questions of other people, but I don't want you to leave in case something comes up, okay?
Okay.
Okay? All right. It's January 28th. You make the payment. When after that is the next time that you speak with anybody from the dealership?
I was talking to Dana often, actually. The next day that I wanted to do was the 11th of February.
I need proof that on that day you said, what? You sold the car? Because the 11th of February is when you say that she told you that she was going to, okay, great, you're coming in the 11th of February. So did you come in the 11th of February? We know you didn't. But did you make an appointment, or did you call, or did anybody talk to you? Or
I made the appointment for the 11th.
Okay.
And
Who did you make an appointment with?
I made the appointment with Dana because that was 2 weeks.
Did you come in on February 11th?
I did not come in.
Why not?
Because I was, and I'm trying to find the paper, I was told that they were unavailable because it was around tax season and that he was selling cars.
I need to find the paper. What is the paper? An email?
I believe it was either an email or a text message, but it was stated to me that he...
Okay, take your time and find that email or text message that shows that you were trying to come in those 2 weeks. All right, Dana, here's my question to you. At any point in time, do you recall, and maybe you don't or maybe you do you recall between the time of January 28th, when she gave you that last payment, and March? So basically, we're talking about the month of February. Did she ever try to meet with you or talk to you about coming into the dealership to sign paperwork?
We did have some conversations. I can't say date-wise. Sometimes in email, sometimes she would call me at night from her work number, 10:30, and then I would call back and I would get no answer.
Okay.
We attempted to, but it wasn't very successful.
Okay, and then when did she first find out, and how, that the car had been sold?
I don't know.
Was it you who told her, or was it Scott?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I kind of think maybe it was him, but I don't know.
Okay. Do you know if it was you, Scott?
No, I don't think it was me.
Who was it who told you the car was sold, Naisha?
It was technically not told to me, like, oh, by the way, the car was sold.
How did it happen?
Scott just was like, you can come back in and you can test drive new cars. And I'm just like, well, what are you talking about, basically, because I did that already. So why are you asking me to come test drive cars? I did that.
And when was that told to you?
March 2nd.
March 2nd was the first time you found out. And how did you find out? Dana, I'm going to let you go, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Call back if you need me.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks, honey.
Bye.
How did you find out? What was it you looked at that alerted you to that it was March 2nd?
So used car dealers have a bad rap. Is that a fair rap or not?
I mean, you gotta be careful. You don't know who you're dealing with.
That's true, but that's the case with everybody. Do they have a bad rap? Is it unfair to say they're all unethical?
I think it's kind of unfair because it's like a case-by-case basis.
Fair enough. Is it generally true, generally not true about used car deals?
Well, there's a reason that they have that.
Is there?
Reputation. Sure.
They say that about lawyers, and they're just the nicest guys in the world.
Sometimes.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I see this, and it's an email between me and Dana,
Okay,
and I was
may I see
asking.
it? So that's how you learned it was sold.
I was asking if she had got a hold of Scott because from this point I've been trying to contact them from February.
So you
11th.
never came in on February 11th?
I didn't come in because he said.
So
that
how
he
is it that you would expect that in March, when you're supposed to come in February 11th, that they're still going to have a car for you?
Well, it's not
If
that.
on March 2nd is how you found out.
Well, because they had always said that you're supposed to make appointments. So when I'm sitting here trying to make these appointments, and also I don't have a car, and they're 45 minutes away, so I'm trying to make my way.
I understand you have problems, but at some point also your problems are your problems and not anybody else's.
Which I'm aware of.
So if you didn't make your way over there, you didn't get a ride, you didn't on February 11th.
They never made it. There was no initial date for me to come in at another point.
That's incorrect, because your testimony to me before, and that is why I wanted Dana on the phone, is that Dana knew that you would be getting your insurance and
The
that you would
11th.
be over there by February 11th. And you weren't over there by February 11th. You don't even know the car got sold until March 2nd. You're not entitled to get your money back. We're going to take care of the insurance. The insurance is not going to be a problem. They're going to refund your money because you're going to sign a document for us, and we'll draft it now so it's, we know that it's signed before you leave. It'll be very quick, and it will just say, this is to certify that the car was never sold to Ms. Mayers. But this was an unusual case, and I was trying very hard to give you the benefit of every doubt, as you know, because I've had nothing but fights with him. And I would love to be able to walk out here and say, give her back her money. But here's the problem. The only thing you had going for you was the statement that Dana said they'll hold it for me until I can get my insurance, and I was trying to go by my 2-week pay period. That is the only thing you have going for you. It's flimsy, okay? That's why he was so angry, because it's flimsy. But you know what? If he's going to be sending people in to make representations for him in a parking lot, then, he's got to eat whatever they say. She can't contest that she was giving you until February 11th, so we're going to go with that theory. But now when I'm asking you to show proof that when you come in February 11th, the day you said you would, the day she gave you until that, the car wasn't there, you can't because you didn't even know the car wasn't there until this email, which is dated March 2nd. So, Ms. Mayers, you have a credit there and you can buy another car, okay? But you cannot get your money back for it. That is my verdict. On the part about the insurance, let me take care of the documents so that she can immediately get her money back for the insurance. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff will get a chance to go get another car.
Yes, sir.
You will honor that,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
You
No question.
agreed to do that before.
Did
Anyway.
everything I could for her, as you
And
said.
she'll get her insurance back.
That's right.
Okay, no
Absolutely.
problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You some lessons on how to work with the judge. You were giving her
I have a problem
gray hairs.
with women.
Okay, all right. Now Ms. Mayers is on her way out of the courtroom. All right, so you don't get that one Mazda, but your credit is still good there. Are you satisfied with that?
No, I'm not.
So what are you going to do? I mean, you have no choice.
Yeah, I'm not going back there because I don't feel like the business was fair. So
Yeah, but you don't get money back if you don't.
I have to figure out what I'm going to do because
You can't
this
just
is
let
not
him
it.
keep the money. Go there and use it one way or the other. Or you're throwing your money away.
Yeah, I don't want
You
to
don't
do
want
that
to do that
either. I feel like I'm at a loss.
Well, not really. You still have credit. You can go buy a car, okay?
I'll see what I
Maybe
can
you'll
do.
find another one even better.
I hope so.
No, let's hope so. All right. Thank you very, very much. Okay. All right, Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, I got to tell you, Doug, if you buy something on layaway and you're not paying the money on time, you are taking a big gamble. It is risky buying on layaway if you don't meet the deadlines.